So here we are at our lovely cabin in the woods of West Virginia, and I am outside to do my intro for our video. And this week, Jenna Wellborn again asked a question, and I'm so glad she did. She asked, basically, how do you YouTube? How do you do all the things? So in this presentation, I'm going to tell you the things that I do. So this isn't hard and fast, everybody should do everything this way. This is just what I do. So that's how I do furniture too. It's like I'm not teaching you, I'm just saying, here's what I did. So I use my phone, and I actually have a couple phones, and that's a long story why. But at any rate, I use my phone. I use a Samsung S10 to film most things. I also have a Samsung, it's an A series. I don't even know what it is. I hate the phone. That's what I use for my regular calling phone. But I sometimes will use it if the other one's not available or for whatever reason. And I'll do something on it. And then I use a quick share, and I'll be showing you all these things. And I have some notes that I'm going to take a look at to give you the basic points that I'm going to be covering. And then I'm going to be doing some demonstrating using my screen capture feature of the phone. So I use a bunch of apps, and one of them is PixArt. I rely on PixArt heavily. I just love it. You can remove things out of photos. It's great if you can't stage, particularly for furniture flipping, if you can't stage your piece in a proper way at the end of your video or whenever you do it, you might want to take a picture of it and then put it in my photo room app, and that gets rid of the background, and then you can put it in PixArt and manipulate it a whole bunch of other ways. Or if there's a trash can sitting beside the dresser that you just took a picture of, you can erase the trash can and make it all better. So that's one of my favorite apps. I also use PixArt for my thumbnails. And a note on thumbnails, I would say, and I've heard this said before, and since I've been doing it, I've been noticing a little more growth in my channel, and use the same font consistently and the same kind of style. So I use a headshot. I always have my picture in it, and I have the same font, so it's consistent. So no matter what the background is, and I try to use bright colors, someone can look at it and say, oh, that's La Vintage Decor. That's her channel. So make that kind of your signature trademark. Also a note, which I may move in and sit by the fireplace and record some of this because I'm literally freezing. So that might not be a bad idea for me to do, is to build a fire and go over my notes. But it's lovely to be outside. It was showing promise of being a sunny day earlier, and right now not so much. It's just cold. I think it's about 47 degrees. So hoping it warms up a bit. Either way, it's nice to be away from the rat race. So I'm inside now, and this is my best attempt at a little fire, and I think we finally got it going. And I'm not going to be holding this up here like this. I kind of did a makeshift tripod, which is something you can do if you don't have your stuff with you. One thing, whenever you're speaking right into the camera, is to know where to look. Sometimes you tend to look at yourself, but know where your camera lens is so that you're looking in the right place. Okay, I have a nice little crackling fire going now, and I have my little book with my notes that I want to talk about. So the next thing I have written down there is your niche, or niche, however you say it. But mainly, that's just to talk about your identity as a channel. So if you talk about everything under the sun, then people might not just follow you for what you do. So to give you an example, so I'm a furniture flipper, but during the pandemic, I decided I was going to do a daily video. And I collaborated with some other people, and I did some cooking videos and some health videos because I thought that would be a good thing to focus on. Did some spiritual stuff, and it was a lot of times 1-minute videos, sometimes just a little educational thing, or the difference between there, and there, things that bug me. So those things, though, if someone lands on your channel and sees that, and then they look at your other videos, they think you're all over the place. So I think that you'll have more success if you find a subject and stick with it, which is not to say that you can't do anything different. Once you have established viewers and you tell them, hey, we're going to a campground in the woods in West Virginia, and that's where you do your video, and you're not, working on furniture, that's okay, because your viewers are now established, they're interested, and they're going to follow you to the woods. Next subject is, how many videos should you do a week or a month? That's entirely up to you. I think that the thing to focus on at first is maybe a video a week, because if you diversify too much, then you maybe kind of liquidate your quality a little bit if you're rushing to produce these videos. But I think it's great for your viewers to know that you have something they can count on. So for instance, on my channel, and this is all, again, this is just what I do, and this is kind of trial and error for me, because I did that video a day and tried to do 3 videos a week, and that was too much for me. So the quality of life is important as well as growing your YouTube channel. But I do a step-by-step on Saturdays at 4 o'clock, unless there's a collaboration video, and then sometimes that can change. And then the other one is Tuesday Talk, which is obviously on Tuesdays, and it's at 8 o'clock, and my times are Eastern Standard Time. So that leads me to another subject, which is collaborations. In my estimation, if you find other people that have your niche or your interest, the furniture flipping, for example, hook up with those people. And then you're wondering, well, how do I do that? I would say that I was fortunate because I, by chance, got the right person who introduced me to a bunch of other people who are not only great collaborators but have become dear friends all over the world, which is so cool. But how I made that connection was by watching other people's videos and commenting on them. So you're commenting in your channel's name. So if you make an intelligent comment, or you make a comment that the flipper themselves or whoever the channel maker answers your comment, then that's the way to establish connections. Not only do other people see your comments and notice them, but the actual channel host, for lack of better words, because I'm struggling. But that's what happened to me. So I made a comment to a furniture flipper, and she answered me back, basically just saying thank you. And when she answered me, I thought it was very kind of her to reply, but then I just decided I kind of want to engage her a little bit more. I forget what the question was that I asked her, but it was a comment. I made her aware that I had a channel and that I also flipped furniture. And so she must have looked at a video, and then she came back, and because she was from Australia, she said, would you be keen to participate with some other YouTubers in some collaborations and join a furniture group? And I was thinking, oh, heck yeah. So that was how that got started. And now those are the biggest areas of growth for my channel. I always see, a bunch of new subscribers and new comments and everything every time we do a collaboration. So another thing, in case you're not aware, I know you can Google this, but in order to start being monetized, you need 1,000 subscribers and you need, I forget now, how many watch hours. See, I think it's 3,000 or 4,000, but that's in the past 365 days. So those are things that you need in order to start monetizing your channel. And I will tell you that I'm at 2340, I think, subscribers right now, and I've only made a couple $100. So there you have it. There's the truth. But I also probably could do some things a little differently and work a little harder on some things, which I'm finally starting to nail down. But I also have a shop. I also do in-home design and often paint people's kitchen cabinets. I have rustic bridal and event rentals. So there's a lot going on in my world. So sometimes I just have to kind of take things as they come and drink them in slowly. So my growth is happening now more rapidly than it did before, but maybe not as fast as I'd like it to. But it's the watch time and the engagement that is kind of more important to the algorithm and to your channel growth and to your pocketbook than the actual amount of subscribers. Okay, we're going to talk about a lot of this stuff, but let's talk about music. So, I learned the hard way that it's, to me, I use Epidemic Sound and I pay for it. And I don't worry anymore about copyright infringement. So there's nothing more deflating than thinking that you found that song that's copyright free and you use it, and like it might come in as part of the app that you use. So I use UCut, but I think I used to use a different app and I don't even remember which one it was before, for editing videos, and the music that was included in there I assumed was copyright free. So one I used for my little theme song and my outro, and then to find that I just keep getting hit over and over again, even on some of those collaboration videos that had hundreds and hundreds of views on it. Oh, guess what? Copyright infringement. So it was a little depressing there for a while, so it made sense for me to not have to worry about it. And now I get comments like, oh, I love that music in your video. What's the name of that song? So that was definitely a good change. Okay, so there's different things that you can do in your videos. So you can do a narrated video like this, but some people aren't really comfortable in front of a live camera, so to speak. I actually do some live TV in my area. So, when you are doing that, if you make a mistake, then there's nothing to do other than to say, oops, I made a mistake. So there's no editing. But most of my videos, I don't speak to the camera. I am flipping furniture, so I'm filming what I'm doing. Also, because I have a shop, there's a lot of stuff going on at times. I might be having conversations with people if I have someone there working, or if I'm doing a class and I'm multitasking. But I like to do that because I can edit it. I find that I say so and but a lot. And when I'm editing, that comes, it just is bold to me. It just it sticks out like a sore thumb. So I can get rid of a few of those ands and buts and so's. So that's the benefit to me of editing. Another thing that I think you need to look out for is the volume of your voice and also of your music. So now I've kind of learned how to do it, and I'm going to show you how I actually adjust the volume. But you might want to get what's called a lavalier, and that's a little microphone that plugs into your camera, or in my case, a phone. So I do everything on my phone, as I mentioned before. That might not be for you. If you have an iPhone, they have a great app called iMovie. And again, I use a free app called YouCut, and I think it is just totally full of features, and I love using it, and it's so easy to do. Checking my fire. Because I can be curled up on the couch in the evenings and editing videos and be totally comfortable and not chained to a desk and a computer. Something else that you definitely want to invest in is a tripod. And you might have little tabletop ones for different views. If you do use different phones or different cameras, or sometimes if you use a camera, you might use your phone to get a different angle. So that's something I try to remind myself to do. It's a good thing to do. So you're working on one particular action and you have one camera view, and then you switch that camera view and kind of edit that in. That's a really good thing to do, and it's something I need to remind myself to do. But definitely having the tripod makes it so much easier because you can be hands-free. If you're trying, it's very obvious when you're watching videos if you see someone who's trying to hold a camera and do something, because they're trying to hold it still and it's not working. So that's definitely something that you want to have. So I am going to be doing an edited portion of this video, and I will be showing you some tips and tricks, and I hope that it is of some value to you. And I really am glad you tuned in to watch, and feel free to ask me questions in the comments. And so once you do get monetized, then as you grow, there's other sources of revenue that you're eligible for, and one of them is channel membership. And so my channel membership is for people to give me direction as to what to do on Tuesday Talk. So that's why we're talking about how you do all the things for YouTube. So thanks to Jenna. So please consider joining the channel. It's only 99 cents a month, and it's really I think just a fun thing. There's a Facebook group and special emojis, but that's one thing. But there are other ways to make money on YouTube. You can do the Buy Me a Coffee app, which I don't do that. There's also your Amazon wish list. You know, if you have things that you use regularly, like sandpaper and that kind of stuff, people can support you by buying things on your wish list and sending them to you. So that's another way to support you, that people can support you. So those are all things that you don't have to wait until you're monetized to do. So, okay. What you're going to see next are some video clips that I took from the car on our way into Berkeley Springs. I added them one by one into the YouCut app. Keep watching, and I'm going to show you by using a feature on my phone called Screen Recorder. Screen Recorder is a built-in onboard app on my Android phone. I'm going to speed the video up just a little bit so that we can get to that part. I also inserted some still photos too. They can tell a story as well. Notice the outside edges on this photo? It needs cropped. There's a certain aspect ratio you need for YouTube, and it's 16:9. So all photos need to be cropped to 16:9 to avoid these borders. I hate speeding up all of these videos because the scenery is just so beautiful. These mountains are just gorgeous, and it's great in the spring that everything's in bloom. Ah, and here's our little cabin. And here's our first fire. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to add clips in. And I'm going to show you a screenshot of the screen recorder. Again, this is a built-in app on my Android, and it's in the pull-down section. The top of your phone pulls down like a window blind, and then you can scroll across to see several different onboard apps. And that one, the screen recorder, is awesome. So after my intro, I hit the plus sign, which you can't see in here because of that aspect ratio, but you can see that I have video selected. I'm selecting different videos, and now I switch to photo, and now I'm back to video, and I'm picking them all in, and they're just going in order in my video. Originally, I had this clip in my video for my intro, and I was just laying on my couch, chilling, and doing my intro. It was before we left. And then I decided it would be better if I showed you an intro from Berkeley Springs. So now I'm going to show you how I get rid of this. First thing you'll notice is the aspect ratio. I have those borders. In order for me to show you what I'm doing on the screen, I can't make it look like the 16:9 aspect ratio. So right now what I'm doing is selecting that video. That way I can show you kind of a few things at once here. So there's that little video clip that I recorded on my couch. I selected it and I added it into my video feed. And then I decided I was going to talk over it, so I had to select volume, and I lowered the volume on my video. That's how I do most of my talkovers, or all of my talkovers, whenever I am doing furniture flipping videos. Then I hit the record, and now I'm talking over the video. Until we get to the part where I decide to cut it, I'm going to play some music. Whenever I decide I want to get rid of something, I hit the split, and then I select the segment that I want to delete and just hit delete, and poof, I'm all gone. Now I can add the proper intro in. Let's talk about aspect ratio for a second. So remember, I can't make this the proper aspect ratio because I'm showing you on my phone, but it's just a photo on my phone. I hit edit, and then I hit the crop feature, and then I select 16:9, and it automatically makes it the right size for television viewing. And then I can just adjust it so that I have everything I want in the frame. And then just hit save. I can adjust the speed, so I'm slowing down that clip of the beautiful woods that we're driving through, just to tell you that there's so much more I'd love to share with you. This was a brief overview, and I hope you enjoyed it. So let me know if you'd like me to expand on this subject just a little bit more. And if you want to learn more, just let me know. And then next Tuesday talk, we'll talk about it some more. Thank you so much for watching today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Visit at lavintagedecor.company. On Instagram, we're LaVintage Decor, and on Facebook, we're LaVintage Decor Altoona. Stay well.